Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. This time we're going to be taking a close look at something that's probably on a lot of your minds.
Yeah, it's that time again.
That's right, your upcoming Social Security payments for April 2025. We found some interesting info in a recent How To Guys video.
Hmm.
And get this, there are some twists and turns this month that could mean a nice little boost to your budget.
Definitely. But first, just to make sure we're all on the same page, let's clarify the types of benefits we'll be talking about today.
Sounds good to me.
All right, so we'll be covering Social Security retirement benefits, along with SSI, that's Supplemental Security Income, and SSDI, or Social Security Disability Insurance.
Okay, cool. Each with its own payment schedule.
Right, exactly. So let's jump into it.
Perfect. So, first up, for those receiving SSI, get ready because your payment is scheduled to arrive right on time, April 1st.
That's right. No early payment tricks this time, like we sometimes see.
Right.
But, it's always a good idea to keep an eye on your bank deposits just to make sure everything's accurate no matter what.
For sure. Catching those little discrepancies early can really save you some trouble down the line.
Absolutely.
Okay, now, for those who started receiving Social Security benefits before May 1997, you've got a payment date just a couple of days later on April 3rd. Though, of course, weekends and holidays can sometimes shift those dates around.
Right. Gotta love those holiday weekends.
Yeah, always best to confirm with your bank.
Good point. Now, for the majority of Social Security beneficiaries, it gets interesting. Your payment date is actually determined by when you were born.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about this.
Yeah, it's a pretty clever way to manage that huge flow of payments every month. Keeps things running smoothly.
Yeah, I imagine it would be a nightmare if everyone got paid on the same day.
Yeah.
So how does it work exactly?
Well, think of it as 3 waves of payments throughout the month.
Ooh, I like that. 3 waves.
Yeah. So the first wave goes out on April 9th, and that's for those with birthdays between the 1st and the 10th of the month. Then on April 16th, we've got the second wave coming in for birthdays from the 11th to the 20th.
Gotcha.
And finally, the third wave crashes on April 23rd for anyone born between the 21st and 31st.
All right, so pretty straightforward then. You just need to know your birthday to figure out when your payment's coming.
Yeah, exactly. It's a simple system, but it really helps manage the whole process.
Definitely. Now, there's always some buzz around the possibility of a double deposit month, like 2 payments landing in your account at once.
Oh, yeah. People love that idea.
Yeah. So is that happening in April?
Unfortunately, not this time. But hold on to your hats because November is looking pretty exciting.
Oh, what's happening in November?
Well, because of how the calendar lines up this year, SSI recipients are actually going to get both their regular November payment and their December payment in the same month.
Whoa. Talk about a nice little bonus.
Right. I mean, who doesn't love a little extra cash?
For sure. We'll have to do another deep dive closer to the date to talk about the best ways to make the most of that.
Absolutely. We'll definitely be covering that.
All right, so just to recap, for anyone receiving SSI, your payment lands on April 1st.
Huh?
For those who started getting Social Security benefits before May 1997, it's April 3rd.
Right.
And for everyone else, payments roll out based on your birth date, the 9th, the 16th, and the 23rd.
Exactly.
Knowing these dates is super helpful for planning your budget and avoiding those financial surprises. But it's not just about knowing when those payments are coming.
It's about what you do with them, too.
Yeah, good point. Understanding your income, especially when it's a reliable source like Social Security, is really key to managing your money effectively.
Right. It's all about that peace of mind. Knowing you've got those funds coming in can really make a difference.
Absolutely. So how can our listeners use this info to their advantage? How can they make those Social Security payments work even harder for them?
Well, I think a good place to start is budgeting. Having a clear picture of your income really helps you make the most of those Social Security payments.
Right. Budgeting. It always
Yeah.
sounds a little intimidating, though, doesn't it?
It can, yeah, but it doesn't have to be complicated. There are actually tons of great tools and resources out there that can help you get started.
Like what? What would you recommend?
Well, you've got online platforms, budgeting apps, even your local bank or credit union can often provide guidance.
Okay, so plenty of options.
Exactly. It's all about finding what works for you and makes you feel comfortable.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So once you've got that budget in place, what's next? How can you take things a step further?
Well, let's say you're consistently finding yourself with some extra money after covering all your essentials.
Yeah.
Then you might want to think about setting up automatic transfers to a savings account.
Oh, the classic pay yourself first approach.
Exactly. It's a great way to build up a cushion for any unexpected costs or even those long-term goals you've been dreaming of.
For sure. Even small, consistent contributions can really add up over time.
Especially with the magic of compound interest.
Speaking of making your money work harder, what about investments?
Yeah, that's another avenue you could explore.
Oh.
Maybe look into some low-risk investment opportunities.
Hmm.
Always do your research first, of course, and maybe even chat with a financial advisor if you're not sure where to start.
Good advice.
But even those more conservative investments can help your savings grow steadily.
Right. So it's about finding that balance between safety and growth.
Exactly. And, don't underestimate the power of putting those extra funds towards your personal goals, whatever those might be.
Sure.
Whether it's finally paying off that debt, tackling those home improvements, or maybe even taking that dream vacation.
Ooh, vacation. I like the sound of that.
Right. It's about making your money work for you in a way that aligns with what's important to you.
Definitely. So having a plan really makes a difference.
Absolutely. And, it makes me think back to that double deposit situation coming up in November for SSI recipients.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be exciting.
Yeah. Imagine the possibilities with 2 payments hitting your account in the same month.
It's like an extra boost of financial energy.
Right. So what are some smart ways our listeners can harness that? What do you think?
Well, it seems like a great opportunity to jumpstart those financial goals we were just talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, imagine being able to make a huge dent in your debt or really bump up your savings for that dream vacation.
You got it. It's all about thinking strategically and making choices that align with your priorities.
This has been super helpful. We've covered so much ground today. Understanding the payment schedule, maximizing those payments, achieving that financial well-being.
It's all connected.
Yeah, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to money.
No doubt about it. And hey, speaking of knowledge, let's not forget those all-important April payment dates. Just to recap one last time, for SSI recipients, it's April 1st.
Got it.
If you started receiving Social Security before May 1997, your payment's coming in on April 3rd. And for everyone else, remember those 3 waves based on your birth date, the 9th, the 16th, and the 23rd.
So helpful to have those dates in mind.
Absolutely. It lets you plan ahead, like timing those bigger bills effectively.
Yeah, that's a great point. Like, if your mortgage is due on the 15th and your Social Security payment comes in on the 9th, you're all set. No worries about late fees.
Right. It's about being proactive and taking control.
And, you mentioned earlier how important it is to check your bank deposits for any errors.
Oh, yeah, that's crucial.
So how can our listeners stay on top of their finances and make sure everything's running smoothly? Any tips?
Well, most banks these days have online banking and mobile apps.
Yeah, those are super convenient.
They make it so easy to keep track of your account activity.
First look.
You could even set reminders on your phone or calendar to review your statements regularly.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That way, if there are any discrepancies, you can catch them early and get things sorted out quickly.
Like having a personal finance assistant.
Yeah.
Always keeping an eye on things.
Exactly. And if you do spot something that seems off, don't hesitate to reach out to your bank or the Social Security Administration directly. They've got customer service teams ready to help you investigate and make sure you're getting the right payments.
Makes sense. So it's all about being proactive.
Exactly. Now, before we move on, I've got a little thought experiment for our listeners. Something to mull over as you navigate your financial world.
Ooh, I love a good thought experiment. Hit me with it.
All right, so picture this. You check your bank account one day, and there it is, an unexpected deposit. And it's not a mistake. It's an extra Social Security payment, a little bonus, just for you. What would you do with it?
Wow, that's a really interesting question. It really makes you think, like, what are your priorities? What are your dreams? Would you save it? Invest it?
Yeah.
Maybe treat yourself to something special.
Exactly. There's no one right answer. Right. It all depends on your personal situation, your goals. Maybe you use it to chip away at some high-interest debt, free up some cash flow for the future.
Right.
Or maybe you finally tackle that home improvement project you've been putting off. Something that makes your life a little bit better, a little bit more enjoyable.
It's like a financial choose-your-own-adventure.
Yeah.
And it really highlights how important it is to have a plan for your money so when those unexpected opportunities pop up, you're ready to seize them.
I love that. A financial choose-your-own-adventure. That's perfect. It really is all about being prepared and making choices that align with your values.
Definitely. Well, this has been a fantastic deep dive. We've learned so much about the April 2025 Social Security payment schedule, and even more importantly, we've explored some really smart strategies for maximizing those payments and achieving true financial well-being.
I agree. It's been a great conversation. And don't forget, everyone, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your finances.
So true. And for even more great tips and tricks on managing your money and making it work harder for you, be sure to check out the full How To Guys video. They always have such practical and insightful advice.
Absolutely, they're a great resource. But for now, let's leave our listeners with one final thought. No matter what your financial goals are, knowing your Social Security payment dates is a huge step towards taking control and planning effectively.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Whether it's April, November, or any month in between, having that information at your fingertips can make all the difference.
So stay informed, stay proactive, and keep those payment dates handy.
And until next time, happy budgeting, everyone.